Yo, it's your man, Live Zaya, and I'm here and I'm back finally. I know people, it was a little minute, it was a hiatus on this, you understand? You ain't see no notes coming through to my note gang. Shout out to my note gang, but we back, people. And you already know who's always with me, to the left of me.
It's the boy, you already know, the only one left, you heard?
Say the word. Tell him what we got for him today, bro. We got a good one for him today, bro. Tell him what we got for him today, bro.
You know, another episode of Chats with the Cuz. I got my guy, VC, a.k.a. Vic Slang Hope.
Vic
you
Slang
heard?
Hope, you already know.
Not dope nor coke, you heard?
You feel me? You slanging hope out here to the people,
brother.
you feel me?
You're ready.
What's the word, my brother? How you been, bro? How you out? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm grateful. I'm alive. And I just want to thank y'all for like the opportunity to get me involved and like, you know, putting out some content, you know?
Yes, sir,
hey,
man. I
we want to thank you back for you know,
allowing us the opportunity. You understand?
Exactly. You know, we appreciate it as well. I've been following your page for a minute. You know, go ahead, Love.
Yeah, nah, I definitely been following the page. That's exactly what I was gonna say. You know what I mean?
Thanks,
It's real. I want to call it entertaining. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely entertaining, right? But it's real shit in there, man. You know what I mean?
You want to know? I ain't gonna lie. That's exactly what you said, Live. It's real shit in there, and it's entertaining because real shit is really entertaining. Like it makes it better when it's real shit.
That's a gay fact. That's a gay fact.
With 10.3K.
Yeah.
Subscribers.
That's looking nice.
I mean, you gotta be doing something correct.
Got the numbers and all that.
That's looking nice.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do something correct.
Videos is averaging what about 5K in what 2 hours?
Day,
Every 2 hours I'm seeing 5K. It's record timing. You know what I mean? Like the subscribers is growing. That shit is beautiful, man.
About 356 on the comments. You know?
Yeah, that shit is nice. Shit is nice. You know what I mean?
It's really good and. We seen the growth, so basically we want to talk to you about is that growth today.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So before we get on into it, I want, because we know you and all that, but for the folks that is at home, they tapping in, you know what I mean? I want you to, go on and let the people know who you are, where you coming from, you know what I mean? And go ahead, man, talk to the people, bro.
Yeah, let's start from A.
Start from the beginning, bro.
Yeah, let's start from A.
From the beginning, man. Where you come from, bro? Where you at,
Who
bro?
are you? You know what I mean? Like, where you from? What's up?
So you know, my name is Victor. My parents are like immigrants. They from Honduras. You know, Garifuna. I really don't be jacking Honduras because Honduras was like a nation that was built after the fact that when my people got there.
Right.
So we Garifuna. We speak like our Garifuna dialect. They also speak Spanish, and.
I never knew that.
Yeah, but on top of that, but Spanish is a language we learned, just like English, just like, we learned the language of the colonizers, whatever. So I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in the South Bronx. I was born in Lincoln Hospital. I lived like around. Yeah, you already. So I lived around. I lived around Crotona Park for like a long time. I hanged around Crotona Park. I lived in Crotona Park. I went to school on Tremont. So that's like my. That's
over there. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my.
Shout out to them. Shout out to the South Bronx.
Yeah, you're ready. So that's my side. Growing up, like I was in the shelter system a lot. Okay. When I came back from Honduras, so I was in Honduras for like 2 years. Oh. My mom always sent me over there because she believed in like me making connections with my family and getting to know them.
Wait, real quick. How old were you when you was going to Honduras?
So since I was young, I was always going back and forth. But the last time I went, I was about like 7, 8, and I came back when I was like 10.
Okay. So you baby.
Yeah. So I came back when I was 10, and I remember a few months after I came back, 9/11 happened.
Okay.
So
but you did time there though.
Yeah.
Not,
so
that's not time, but
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, we didn't get to the time yet. You know what I'm saying?
9/11 though.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So when I left, my mother was living in the room, and then like. When I came back, I couldn't be staying in a room with her. Right. So, we moved out, but then it was kind of like hard. So we ended up going to the shelter system. So I was in the shelter system for maybe like 2 years until like I finally got a place I could call home. And that's when I moved uptown to the Northeast Bronx. For y'all who don't know the Bronx.
Okay, so, Northeast Bronx like.
For y'all that don't know who Uptown is.
It's Northeast Bronx like which parts of Northeast Bronx?
So I moved to Gun Hill Road and White Plains to be exact. Like Gun Hill Projects.
Shout out to my niggas on Gun Hill.
Shout out to the 2 line.
Shout out to the 2 train. All my niggas on Gun Hill. You are.
You know what I'm saying. So so that's where I went.
And how old were you then?
I was 12. Okay. I was like 12. I started
11 plus 1.
Yeah, 11 plus 1. You know,
12.
You're right. 11 plus 1. 11 plus 1. You can't say 12.
Let's go.
So, and then I started going to 113.
Ooh,
and
Richard R. Green.
got into a few little fights. And
Little scuffles.
And then I got respected. You know, I got into 2 fights. Well, I got into 1 big fight when I moved up there. Right. And then after that, like, everybody knew who I was because I beat up some little popular kid. You know,
no names. We're gonna say names.
We ain't gonna
do it like that.
I don't like you know. It's all love. Like,
I know. It's all love.
I
Yeah, I know how that shit go from. I'm just fucking sorry.
I don't like bad animosity. So like,
I know how that go.
You know, I went over there when I was 12, and that's when I got introduced to like a lot of Jamaicans. I never really was around Jamaicans because in the South Bronx, it's not really like a large population of Jamaican, Caribbean people.
Right.
So when I went up there, this is my first time getting introduced to like, you know, the little jerk chicken and all that.
All that Jamaican joint.
Curry goat. Like, what the hell is curry goat?
But it's good though.
It is.
It's good. I ain't gonna lie.
So this is my first time, bro. I'm getting introduced to that. So, and then 12. I spent like from 12 to like 18. So I lived up there for like 6 years, and then like after 6 years, you know, after joining the gang and stuff like that, I got incarcerated.
Right.
All right. So let's pause right there. First off, how old are you?
I'm 29 now.
So that was when you was 12 to 18.
Yeah.
And you joined the gang at 18.
No, at 16.
16.
Okay. So what led up to that? You joining?
Yeah. What was that
Crips
about?
So you know, so in the South Bronx, when I was in the South Bronx, like, you know, I'm Honduran, like I mentioned, and a lot of the Hondurans was Crip. You know, they even had like a little faction of that was called Honduran Mafia Crip.
Okay.
You know,
wait, hold on.
I do remember that.
There was Crips around you in the South Bronx?
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely remember hearing that.
Definitely.
I'm not from the South Bronx, but I do remember hearing Honduran Mafia and Haitian Mafia. I used to get them mixed up. When I was younger.
In Queens, the Haitians had a little off branch, Haitian Mafia Crip.
Yes, I heard of them.
And then the Hondurans.
I've heard of both, but it's just like at that time in them years.
Definitely, there was definitely
in the South
the Hondurans was putting it on.
To hear about Crips is like
there was certain neighborhoods that was putting in pain.
You come on.
You heard about Rock Gang?
Yeah,
180, they was known for putting in pain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Mitchell around this time was really putting in pain. Don't call me for this. Don't come in my head.
Because they gonna be in the comments like, yo, bro, what's up?
So you got to tell us what year was this?
So this was around like I was like 12, so this is like 2001. So 2001, there was some of my cousins was already banging. They was already like out there doing their thing. So they was rolling 30s, right? They were, so you know, they got their own little. Some of y'all might say it was fake. I don't know. I'm not here to discuss the politics. Right. All I'm saying is my cousins was Crip, and a lot of Hondurans was Crip at the time.
Right.
And it was more like a family thing. It wasn't even really about history of like how it started on the West Coast or were they sanctioned on that. It was just like we knew a lot of Hondurans was Crip. And then it was just like I'm Honduran and this is family, so I'm looking out for family. So it wasn't really like a color thing. It was more like some cultural shit.
Right,
it was like some
cultural family.
So I was chilling with them, and you know I was around a lot of Hondurans around the time. So
not to cut you off, that's kind of similar how it is on the West, but continue.
Yeah, and the West is definitely like that too, right? It's like when they ask you where you from, it's like
exactly.
It's a block.
I'm from Grape.
Right.
I'm from 30s. I'm from 60s.
Exactly.
So basically, it's kind of like you
put it paid for your family. That's a fact.
Yeah, so kind of like the same thing. So you know, so going back, like around 12, I was hanging out with them, but I was never really like looking at it like, oh. So sometimes I used to have a blue flag, not because I was induced to it, but it was kind of like, you know, I'm hanging out with these people.
Right.
And then when I moved uptown, I used to go back. I used to like, you know, keep going back and forth, but then it got a little tedious to keep going back and forth from uptown to downtown. So after I used to play soccer back in the day too. So after the soccer games,
Hondurans, man, I don't know if I call them Spanish though. Like they learn Spanish, like the brother said.
I mean,
like you feel me?
Yeah, we learned the language of the colonizer, but it doesn't really make us it. To be Spanish, you got to be somebody from Spain.
Come on, brother, we gonna talk, but we gonna talk about that. But let's go back to where we was at. You was chilling with him. You had the blue flag.
Yeah, definitely. So you know, so from then, like after the soccer games, we would go hang out, and you know, they like it's funny because they used to be getting into a lot of little situations that I didn't really understand at the time. Like we would be going somewhere, and then like my cousin, I used to be the dude that they used to be telling them, yo, hold this for me, hold that for me, hold this for me, hold that for me. Like every time they used to be getting into stuff, they'd be like, yo, hold my bag, yo, hold my chain.
Because you're the little guy.
You know, I was the young dude.
Yeah, you're the young dude.
So I never really got into that kind of like, you know, the politics or what was really going on. I just knew they was always getting into stuff.
Right.
You know, and again, like I said, like I viewed it as some family thing, but they was really getting into it because, you know, the banging stuff. So anyway, after that, you know, we used to go on then I started going on little missions with them on, you know, little adventures, right?
Right.
And then, but then I stopped doing all that because like my mom didn't really want me out late. The one time I came home real late, like past 2 a.m, and then my mother was just like, I don't care if you was with your cousins, like you're not gonna be doing that.
Yeah, I'm not having that.
So after that, I didn't really like go back and forth. I just stayed uptown, and then I got in tune with like the Crips that were uptown. So you know, I kind of like was around Crips, but it was also like the things that the Bloods were doing that kind of like make me kind of like have this dislike towards them.
Right.
So I feel like the Crips were a little more mellow. There was a little more chill. Maybe because they had less numbers, you know, I don't know. But they just seemed a little more chill. And then when I got uptown, I just got a little close with some of them. I used to go to the park and hang out with them. And that's how like I kind of like started coming around.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay, so like, all right, so when you started coming around, nonetheless, I understand how it goes.
So,
go. So, I got a question after you. Go ahead.
Your family was Crip.
Yeah.
You coming around uptown.
I got family that's blood, by the way, too. But at the time, it was just like most Hondurans were Crip.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that you was used to that regardless.
Yeah.
So when you seen it uptown, it was normal. Like, you know what I mean? Seeing the blue flags, bro.
Cool.
It's maybe not the same because they not family, but
now I didn't live in the Crip block, but I went to middle school across on the Crip block.
On the Crip block.
Yeah. So you know, we in school most of the time. So
exactly.
I was mostly around like the Crip block,
Crips.
on the Crip block. Yeah.
So that's where I was going with it. So it's like, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, so what was the driving force that was like, you know what? Not only am I gonna be around
these
the
niggas
Crips,
were like, I mean,
I'm gonna be a Crip.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do this now. What was that? What was that like for you?
So there was a lot of stuff going on, and I mentioned this in one of my videos. I mentioned like Halloween, the cuttings, the slashings, the oppression, the, you know, beating up neutral people. Like, I just didn't understand. I didn't get it, right? Especially like, you know, when you think about it now, right? Like back then, I didn't really think about like why Blood started in jail, and all those different things and the politics behind it. But like, I'm in the neighborhood and I'm just seeing certain things going on. I'm seeing like, you know, just stuff happening to neutral people, stuff happening to women,
right?
Different things going on. I remember like my homies, sisters telling us, come pick us up from school, come get us from here, come get us from there. Like, so all these different things was happening. So it just kind of like built this kind of like hatred for what was going on. Like it just built this hatred for them. And then so when that happened, hanging out with the Crips. And then, you know, when you hang out with the Crips, it was kind of like they always used to play around with the people that was neutral. Like, yo, when you gonna turn Crip, man? When you gonna turn Crip? When you gonna, you know, some of them used to be playing, but I felt like there was a little bit of truth to it.
Yeah, that's a game.
So it was kind of like, yo, when you gonna turn Crip? And, you know, we used to be like, nah, man, like, I play ball, like, I do this, I do that.
For as long as you could, right?
Yeah, like, and then one day, you know, they just asked me, like, I just felt like I was, so I'm gonna tell the story, and I told this in a different interview. So one day, I remember I was in the park, I was playing basketball or whatever, so, and this was like the only Crip block in the neighborhood, right? Like, everything was like surrounded. You know, we ain't gonna say that name. You know, right. Big brother, watch it, man. But
that's a fact. We ain't doing that, right?
But this was the kind of like the only Crip block, you know, so they had to be extra tough. They had to like bring it. So one day I was in the park and I'm just chilling, and you know, 216 Park and 225th Park. 225th Park was like considered the blood park in the hood for those of y'all who don't know, and that's only like
kind of right up the block.
You know, that's like 9 blocks away. It's not that far, but it's still surrounded. The whole area is basically still blood. You know,
that's a fact.
So one day I'm in the park playing ball, and the park only got 2 entrances. So it's like the ramp or the stairs. So and then, you know, you can make your own exit in the back.
You know,
if you have the gate.
If you know what you're doing.
You know what I'm saying?
If you know what you're doing, you've been there.
If you have the gate and it get crucial, you know,
you know what to do.
You always got the ejecto seat in the back.
Fact, bro.
To 15.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. So one day I'm in the park and I'm playing basketball in the courts by the ramp. You know, for those of y'all who know the hood, by the ramp, they used to have the welfare courts, we used to call them.
Right.
So we over there playing basketball, and then like about 50 to 60 people just came in the park, like Bloods from Uptown or whatever. So they came up the ramp and they came up the stairs, and there was only like 4 to 6 Crips in the back, you know, where they used to chill. So I'm like this, I'm looking at this whole situation, and I'm like, oh, it's about to get crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy in here.
So they came from both entrances and both exits, right? So they coming in the park and they like, I'm like, oh man, this is about to get crucial.
Crazy.
So I'm just watching this whole situation. So the Crip dudes in the back, they let them get like past like the handball court, like right before you enter like the court in the back, and then they just started bucking at them, like, and I'm like, oh, so, and then like, so the crazy thing is, literally, like you could feel the ground shaking, like the ground. It felt like it was elephants, and they was just fighting, and mind you, they had bats, poles, chains, like they had a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm like, it's about to get crazy. And then they started just bucking at them. And then like the whole ground was shaking. Everybody's trying to rush out the exit. People falling. Like it was just crazy, right? So from that moment, I was just like, yo, what is this? Like what's going on? Like,
this is crazy.
Because I could have sworn they was gonna get smoked.
Hell yeah! You know, wow, these niggas is here right now.
And then when I seen like these 6 dudes like holding, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, of course they had a gun, but it's like, it's just like, nah, I need to be a part of that. Like, that's if these dudes that I'm building hate for, and I kind of don't like the stuff that they're doing. If they running from these dudes, I was like, I need to be down with that.
I gotta be down with that. I gotta be and I'm already around it.
Yeah, and that was kind of like, I felt like I could use it as a vehicle to kind of like fight against the Bloods, to kind of like change the neighborhood. I was just like, you know, my mindset at the time, like, you know, kind of like trying to change the area and kind of like minimize like the oppression that was happening like on Halloween to women and like innocent people.
So did you ever think about like getting your status up to do this?
I didn't think it was a status. Well, my whole thing was like, because I lived on Gun Hill, so my whole thing was just like to use this vehicle to kind of like change the community. So my mindset was like, I'm gonna take over the neighborhood, and then we're gonna push this, and then we're not gonna oppress people. We're not gonna do this. You know, I was naive.
Right, we're gonna change.
Right, I thought it was that simple. Right, you just take over. You know, and a lot of people was looking at me like, you bugging. You're not gonna take over. Like you
a lot of people got that mindset.
You know, but I feel like I really believed it, and
enough
I think,
to do it. Right.
And right before I went to jail, it happened. Like we literally took over. We literally like had the block, and some people gonna deny it, but like we literally from 08, like 09 to like I got locked up. Like literally like there was no Bloods like on Gun Hill and White Plains, or in that from Gun Hill radius, from Gun Hill to Bronxwood, because we used to patrol that area.
There was none of that.
You know, so it was only Crips and YBs, because a lot of my mans was YBs. And you know that was all that was out there, and some people gonna deny it. They're gonna be like, I used to walk through there, but you was not flagging, you was not wearing your beads, you was not doing none of that, because we was out there.
And if you was out there at that time, 08, 09, 2010, you already know. Like he not fronting, he not. It was lit. The ones who know, they know. Yeah, they know. That's a fact. You know, the viewers is in. They gonna tune in. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna know who.
The ones who know, they know.
Yeah, they know.
Don't come for me now. I changed my life.
Yeah,
I don't want no problems now.
Ain't no problem.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't forget. You don't forget how to be a soldier once you're in the army.
You understand?
I'm just letting y'all know. You know what I'm saying? You don't just go to the army and leave the army and you forget what they taught you.
You feel me?
But you know, but it's all love. It's all peace. You know, I'm just letting them know like how it went down.
You said until what year?
Huh?
You said what year?
So when I got jumped in 2009, and then after that it was just like lit. It was no more Kook Crip. You know, like it was just lit, and then like I got locked up in 2010.
What month was it, if you know?
So I got jumped in June. So you know they thought they was slick. They jumped me in June around the end of the school year. Yeah. Because they didn't have to see me again. You know, they used to pull little stunts like this.
Right,
you know, I remember one time right before spring break, they tried to clap us or whatever. You know, because you got a whole week off. So they was trying to do. They used to try to do. We ain't had no guns at the time. You know, so and we were still out there. Like you know, they used to come out. You know, like a bat shoot at us, and we'll be out there the next day. So they realized we were serious about this. Like we were serious about the takeover. You know, and so around 09 I got jumped in June at the end of the school year, and then when we came back that September, it was lit. Like it was just like, don't come out here.
Yeah, it's over.
Don't be out here. And you know they even put a police tower that year out there. Like it was crazy. It was just crazy. It was lit. High school days was just so crazy. And then I got locked up 2010 at the beginning in January.
You got locked up in the beginning of January 2010.
So from
We got. Oh, you want to go? All right, so you got locked up at the beginning of 2010. So you said 08, 09, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
Even before that, it was crazy.
And what grade you was in? You was.
I was in high school. So when I got locked up, I was in 12. I was in 12th grade.
That's
what high school was it?
I was going to Mott Hall, Bronx High School. You know, shout out to Mott Hall, man.
Where's that?
That was on Claremont and Bacc. I also got jumped over there too. I got a story on my YouTube channel getting jumped over there too. They smoked me over there.
Yeah, definitely tuned into that.
Yeah, it was lit over there. I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy. You feel me?
Okay.
Damn. So yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely was a crucial time. 08, 09. I remember that myself. You know what I mean? So I definitely know what you mean.
That's when it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool to be cool.
I ain't gonna lie.
I was locked up. I was just about to say.
I was in jail for that time.
08, 09 shit. Oh no, I came home in 09. So 08, I was locked up.
I got locked up the day after the Patriots lost their perfect season.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I definitely know what you mean. No funny shit. You know what I mean?
I know Young Jeezy was maybe the hottest Crip back then.
Yeah,
it still wasn't cool. It still wasn't cool to be Crip. Snoop was kind of like.
Yeah, it was weird.
You know, the snowman.
The snowman was the nigga.
The snowman kind of like.
Snoop was the most known, but Jeezy.
And he had the fashion, and Snoop had the fashion, the blue carpet treatment, and the this and that. But Jeezy was the young dude, the snowman. And
that was that nigga, man. I got kicked out of school for that shit.
And another thing, in 08, I used to just bang the Recession out all crazy. That was like my album. Everybody that know me know I was just listening to the Recession like crazy.
I was in jail for that album, but I know
definitely some of the best joints, man.
I spoke to Live and everybody out here.
Yeah, but some of the best years, though, Brian.
So now, so go. What year did you turn Crip?
Exactly. I don't know.
What year and month, if you remember.
I turned Crip like 08. Like, matter of fact, like 07, 08. Damn, I can't even.
In the 07,
it's blurry.
08.
All I know, it was October. It was October, and it was like a Thursday. Okay. I remember it was the Thursday. I want to say October 11th. I'm not so sure, but I think it was October 11th. Word. And I remember I just went home.
In 07 or 08?
I think it was like 07, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from 07 to
2010.
Yeah. So that's a little while, though.
It's not really a little while, because it's like, no, matter of fact, 08.
So about 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of roughly So it's like basically as soon as it happened, like you got through your the beginning stage, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you get locked up. What you got locked up for, cripping?
Yeah. So it was a shooting. It was a shooting related situation. It was some internal stuff happened. There was a situation where somebody kind of like informed about a gun that we went to get, and. And then it was not only the fact that somebody was snitching, it was also the fact that the person that was snitching was kind of like sending threats. And he was also a dangerous individual. I give him, his all due respect at the time.
Not to cut you off, before we get through this, I want everybody to know that all of this is closed and it's none of this that could affect you by talking about this, right, brother?
Definitely.
Let's go and get through, because I know they're going to, you know what I mean? I don't want nobody, I just don't want nobody to even look at it and think, you know what I mean?
Definitely. And this ain't about glorifying, this ain't about, we just, it's history.
It's just history, and sometimes, telling the story.
Sometimes we want to hear your story, and this is a part of your story.
Yeah, definitely.
It's his story.
And sometimes history is a little sour. Sometimes history is a little sour. So
exactly.
So but yeah, some some internal stuff happened. Some people got locked up for for a gun and stuff like that. And then when that happened, so then somebody got locked up for the gun, and then like that just led to like. Like allegedly the person told, and I say allegedly not because I don't believe he told, but because people said because there wasn't no paperwork. But I'm trying to say in certain circumstances there's not going to be no paperwork, right?
Of course.
Like for example, if I'm sitting here with my friend and like the cops come and there's a gun here and I say it's my friend's gun, most likely the cops going to take my word,
right?
Because they don't want to try to figure out who guns really is.
Right.
We got to send this to the lab, get the paperwork. I mean, get the ballistics.
I tell that to my friends a lot. I tell that to my friends a lot. For somebody to be a rat, you don't need paperwork all the time.
Yeah, sometimes
I'm valuable. Sometimes I be like, yo, I'm that strict. Like I'm like, yo, I need the paperwork. But then I do understand where y'all do come from with that, because I seen it happen.
Yeah, because me and you had this conversation.
Yeah. I seen it happen, so I understand.
Hours is like, bro, you don't need paperwork for a nigga to be a rat.
We talk about this all the time.
We know personal people that done this.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. And some scenarios is like that. And some scenarios is like, like I just gave you a perfect scenario. Like we in the park, the police hate doing paperwork. Like so if they could get an easy arrest, like they're gonna do that. So that's kind of like what happened. And I gave the individual the gun. So nobody can really tell me, like if anything, my fingerprints and his fingerprints is on it. And then when the other people that got processed with him he didn't get the gun charge, but only one other individual that another person said that he told on him that was there at the precinct with them. So with that being said, I believed it, and then like the person trying to silence me, I guess, You know, he didn't want me because I was putting out the information. Like, I wasn't really scared. I was putting out the information.
Niggas need to know that.
I just felt like it was wrong. I just felt like, yo, bro, you my man's. Like, I let you in my crib. You sleep in my crib. We don't been with girls together. You know, even though you was way older than me. You know what I'm saying? Even though you was like 26, 28, and I was like 18. You know, and you hanging out with high schoolers. Man, you know, even though that was going on, like, you still, you know, you was in my crib. I thought you was somebody that, you know, we was cool. We was repping the same thing. I ain't gonna say we was friends because it's a job. Gang banging is a job. You just cordial with your co-workers because y'all working at the same place. But you know, I used to let you in my crib, bro. Like
that's an interesting way to
somewhat, definitely.
Yeah.
I somewhat trusted you, and then like you gave up information on somebody, and then it's like I can't trust you no more, and then you're trying to be tough about it, and then you're sending threats. So I just felt like I was pushed into a position where like I had to do something to this person. And that's what happened. And then the person, ironically, a person that claimed they didn't tell, or the people that try to defend him that he didn't tell, ironically, he tells again on me. You know, so, you know, 2 days later after the shooting, I got locked up and they saying that he told them.
Wow.
So that's what happened. That's why I went to jail. So technically I did go to jail for taking care of Crip business.
Yeah, so because it definitely because that definitely is a situation.
Because I could have mind my business like everybody else.
Right, yeah.
Everybody else mind their business, and when I was sitting in jail, I'm thinking like, damn, I should have just mind my business.
Yeah.
If I would have known everybody else was gonna quit the job or act like they ain't work there no more, you know what I'm saying? Like I should have been one of those co-workers too.
Nah, I definitely understand you. So, all right.
So, all right, when you did it, you felt like I did my job.
Yeah, I felt like I did my job, and I felt like I probably was gonna get a promotion. I felt like the boss or the supervisor was gonna.
If you're looking at that from, if you're a nigga that don't know nothing about this, and you hear some shit like that, automatically I think you would tell yourself like, nah, they gonna get that nigga a raise.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Like, they gonna get that nigga a raise. You know what I mean?
Like you went through the right protocols to get that raise.
I think that people got into the politics. At the end of the day, I was the youngest Crip member at the time, and everybody else was older. Everybody else grew up with each other. Everybody was cool, buddy, and I was the new dude. They don't really know.
That came in.
You know, I was that new coworker that is like, we don't even know this dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He put his work in, but we don't know that nigga.
You know, so I was getting a little buzz, people. You know, and I felt like, and that was another reason that led me to like recruit some of my people, because it's like, I didn't really recruit because I just felt like people just like my aura, people just like my vibe, and they like what I represented. Right. So because they like what I represented, they got on the movement. We still do now, by the way. No, thank you, I appreciate it. So because they like what I represented and why I wanted to do it, they fuck with it, and a lot of them joined the gang. So it wasn't like I was pressuring them. I never pressured none of my friends, and I got best friends that never turned Crip, and they was always around me, and they was always, you know, when I had little situations, and they never joined the gang. So some people just joined because of the fact that, you know, I was a stand-up dude. So yeah, like when it comes to protocol, it's like I think I did what was necessary, not just because of what the individual did, but also because of the threats he was sending. And he came to my house. So you don't come to my house. You don't come to my house on some. I don't know if he was on some static, but I know he was sending threats, and he showed up to my home. And you couldn't let that lightly. You couldn't let that go.
Yeah, that's anybody. Nobody would know, especially in the life you living or we living. You know what I mean? If you in the streets or any of that type of sort, you don't even gotta be gang banging. Yeah. That's just a natural. A nigga tell you something, come to your place. You know what I mean? Where you rush your mom or where everybody there. We not having that. Nobody would have that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So I definitely understand, but it's more like I guess what it is. I guess what in my mind, where if I could see looking at this, it's probably like. Niggas, the protocol was probably like you supposed to go to the higher ups. You heard, speak to the higher ups. Let them niggas tell you, and I can understand that where you fall in the middle of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, absolutely. You might not have had that time, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I felt like at the same time, it's like nobody.
Yeah, because at times you gotta react.
Yeah, you gotta react sometimes. You understand what I'm trying to say? You don't get that chance to be like, yo, bro, you talk to your mans or. The niggas know him. They don't know me, but you don't get that chance. And another
thing is, again, like kind of like when I mentioned like the Honduran mafia stuff, right? We kind of was like cousins. We kind of was like family.
Right.
So it's kind of like the same thing here. Like these people, they grew up together. So I didn't expect them to believe me. They wasn't just gonna be like, "You telling the truth? Like we gonna go get our man?"
Exactly.
Because that's their mans. And at the time, like it was a split in the set. It was the younger people. I chilled on Gun Hill. I didn't chill with them. I chilled on Gun Hill, and that's what I was focused on. I lived on Gun Hill, and I was focused on my mission on Gun Hill.
Right.
They was doing whatever they was doing over there on 216 or whatever. I wasn't really over there.
Yeah.
I was on Gun Hill because they was way older than me. We don't got nothing in common. So I was on Gun Hill doing my thing with my youngins. And so when this happened, it created friction, and then it divided the hood into like, and they was calling us like new creed. So it divided the hood in like the new creed versus the the old creed kind of
right.
So, and we was doing our own thing. We wasn't calling them. We wasn't like fraternizing. Like we would go over there, chill, pay homage, but we was doing our own thing. We was doing our own thing, and that's what. So when this happened, it was kind of like they said, "Dumb little niggas." That's exactly what they said. When it happened, they ain't say, "Oh, we all together, we won shit, we won set, we won this." No, they said, "Dumb little niggas is wildin', and we gonna go get them." And that was that. So I don't really.